making a tisk-tisk sound with her tongue and teeth. She noticed a second human male. This one had come out of a door to the left and was climbing down the stairs. 1, 2, she counted slowly, her gaze returning to the hand on her arm.
"Did you hear me?"
the man snapped. Elion grinned. She'd have to be deaf not to hear this asshole's grunts. Her nostrils flared and she let the scents wash over her. 3, 4, she continued her counting.
"Bitch, you'd better get your hot ass out of here or I'm going to—"
5. She interrupted his flattering yet unwelcome threat, moving with blinding speed. The man released a shrill scream as Elion wrapped her fingers around his wrist, squeezing hard enough to shatter his bones. Pretty. She didn't stop there. Still holding his mangled wrist, she whirled to the side. The motion dragged him off his feet and slammed his body against the brick wall. There was a loud thud, like a sandbag hitting cement. A very large, very sweaty sandbag. She released her hold, a taunting smile curving her lips as the man gave a groggy shake of his head and forced himself to his feet. "I did count," she said in sweet tones. The guard swore in Serbian, then charged forward. Elion heaved an uninterested sigh, neatly stepping out of the way. Really, it was sad. There was a time when the Russian mafia hired only the best fighters. Now it seemed their standards had gone straight into the gutter. Who the hell charged in such a narrow space? Waiting until he was lumbering past her, Elion swirled to lift her leg. She kicked him in the ass, sending him shooting into the brick wall on the other side of the hall. This time the sound was more of a crack than a thud, as his skull connected with the bricks. He groaned, sliding to the floor with a dazed expression.
"Nice move,"
a male voice sliced through the air, his accent hinting to a childhood spent in Moscow.
"Can I help you with something?"
With a last glance to ensure the guard wasn't intending any surprise attacks, Elion turned her attention to the man who was standing on the lowest step. He was short and square, with thick salt and pepper hair that was greased back from his florid face. He had heavy jowls and dark-rimmed glasses that were tinted to hide his eyes. An old trick that was supposed to intimidate opponents back in the day. He looked like the stereotypical Russian mob boss. Seriously, the entire place was just one big cliché, she silently and irritatingly concluded. "That depends," she told him.
"On what?"
"On how much money you can offer me." He shrugged, raising his hand to study his manicured nails.
"You know how to cook stroganoff? Or are you a waitress?"
he asked, pretending not to know why she was there. Heh, idiot. "I'm asking how big your purse is," she bluntly demanded. There was a gurgled sound from the guard who was trying to raise his bloody head. "Grr?" Elion released a sharp laugh, nudging his ribs with the toe of her boot. "Is that Serbian for, I just got my ass kicked by a girl?" The man on the stairs clicked his tongue.
"Clearly, I need to upgrade my security."
"You're Viktor Sokolov?" The man glanced toward the opening that led to the restaurant. The sound of muted conversations drifted through the air, along with a new scent that made her stomach rumble. Meat and vinegar. She'd really hate having to blow this place up before she got a plate of whatever that was.
"In my office,"
he abruptly commanded. Victor turned to climb the steps with surprising speed. "Yes, sir." Grinning, Elion followed behind him, taking the stairs 3 at a time. Once they reached the top, she had a brief glimpse around an open space that had been converted into a gym with a large boxing ring in the center of a wood-planked floor. There was the typical weightlifting equipment, an area with several punching bags, and a treadmill. There were also 3 separate doors that were closed. The man in front of her opened the closest one and stepped inside. She paused, allowing her senses to sweep the confined space to ensure there was nothing lurking inside. It was empty. Still, she waited until he'd moved across the cramped space to lean against the desk littered with messy piles of papers before she stepped over the threshold.
"Look, Milya,"
the older man started. "Name's Elion," she interrupted, her expression hard with warning. No one was allowed to call her.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.